membership out there that are watching and viewing the meeting. I'd like to ask Isaac if you could say the info for us today.
Addiction, bless them all children, take care of them, put the things they need in their path so they can overcome those obstacles. Bless each and every one of our leadership that's here today and the ones that are out traveling around. Bless them so they can have safe travels. Continue to bless the four-legged, two-legged, winged ones, ones that swim underwater, ones that go on recreation, so that way they may be around for future generations to enjoy. Take care of anything that may have failed to mention in this word of prayer here today for the whole district.
Hope. Thank you, Isaac. There's been an agenda here that's been prepared for all of us. Ask for any additions at this time or amendments.
Mr. Chairman, we discussed that little tour, that one-day tour to the Holly Hamlet down in Lincoln for agricultural purposes. I'd like to put that on the agenda for approval for.
Is that number 4 there?
Oh,
I think it's on there.
we had
Yeah,
I must have an old one.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Yeah, it's on there.
It's on it. Number
Okay.
4 on the.
All right, good, thank you.
There might be a new packet in your mailbox.
I looked.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Are there any additions from the council?
I have one. We have a member here that wants to be heard, has some issues.
Okay.
If that's all right with the member, I would ask that it could be put on the bottom of the agenda just for the sake of possibly executive session.
Okay. It's Lorna.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll put her down here at number 7 then. Are there any others, additions or amendments?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
It's been moved by Roland. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vince. Any objections? Not, motion carries. 6-0-0. Okay, reading of the minutes, July 16th, 2018, the mid-monthly meeting. Get your, yeah. Does everybody have the same agenda here? I think it's been.
I don't see access on here.
I know, I have an old one.
I got mine from the door.
Yeah, I don't have that on this one here either. This is the amended one. I don't have that on here.
Pardon me? It may be on the what?
The mid-month meeting.
But I went over and I signed on August 7th and you came over. Can we put me on there since I'm already here? I applied to be on there since August 7th.
We already approved the agenda.
Intermission.
So we're having a meeting tomorrow, correct? Yeah. So we could probably put her on that agenda tomorrow, so we can adjust whenever that is.
Okay, just say, tell her that.
LaDonna, since we already approved this agenda, we're gonna proceed with it the way that it's presented. But tomorrow we're having another council meeting, so then we could address what you would like to talk about at that point, at that time. Are you okay with that?
CEO report at 1.
The CEO report at 1.
Yes.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. How much?
Okay,
Sorry about that.
okay. Thank you, LaDonna. Okay, reading of the minutes, July 16th, 2018.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Jim, second by Roland. Any objections? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Ratify 5 signatures. Number 1, purchase of door prizes for employee picnic.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, it's been-
Second.
It's been moved by Vance, second by Roland. Any objections? Not, motion carries 6-0-0. Number 2, adopt resolution number 18-126, Victim of Crime Advocacy Project.
Motion. Second.
Wait, let me, point of order here. Point of order here. I jumped ahead.
Number 2.
Number 2, Winnebago Marketing. So strike that, Coley.
Yeah.
Number 2, Winnebago Marketing August VIP Appreciation Event. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, this is a Winnebago Marketing August VIP Appreciation Event, Sundays, the 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. So it's been moved by Jim,
Mm-hmm.
second by Roland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any objections? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Okay. Number 3, adopt resolution number 18-126, Victim of Crime Advocacy Project. And now it's moved by Jim. Do you still
Yep.
want to move that? Okay.
Yep. Move it.
Second.
And second by Isaac. Any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Okay, number 4, adopt resolution number 18-127, use of child care development funds for major renovation of child care facility grant.
Move it.
Second.
It's been moved by Roland, second by Coley. Are there any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Number 5, Winnebago Tribal Athletic Commission logo approval.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, it's been moved by Vince,
Second.
second by Coley. And just let the people know that there's a Winnebago Tribal Athletic Commission that has been established to oversee our fights and sporting events at the casino and within the tribe. So there's a logo that has been prepared, and some artwork has been commissioned by, I don't know who drew it, but it's all been approved at the board level. So that's what that is. So Vince moved it, Coley seconded it. Is there any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Number 6, NIHB travel, August 14th through the 15th, 2018. That's the National Indian Health Board.
Move it. Motion to approve.
Okay, it's a motion to approve.
Oh,
Jim,
ratify.
Ratify.
ratify, yeah. You're right, Jim. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Coley. Are there any objections? Is there any objections? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Number 7, Winnebago's Marketing 2020 Ryder Cup package. Is that correct? That's a couple years off. It must be.
Yeah, it must be correct. It's all in your approvals. 2020 Ryder Cup package.
So the expense is $23,800 plus a service charge of 21% or $4,998 for a total expense of $28,798. You're all clear? And that's for 5 packages. Lastly, it says the rate is discounted from the list price of $84,095. And if the casino committed to purchase by Friday, August 10th, it said, there was a savings of over $55,000. Is there a motion?
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Been moved by Vince. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Roland. Are there any objections? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Old business, Lisa Chamberlain request. Lisa?
Well, thank you for this afternoon, giving me the opportunity to listen to me at my request, because this has been going on since August, I believe. Let me get my papers. Okay, on 12/14/2017, I emailed Holly Brown. Date was Tuesday, December 5th. It says, "Good afternoon, Secretary Brown. Per our telecom this AM on 12/5/2017, I would like to address the tribal council as I have told you during our conversation concerning the Birch House. My sister and her husband did a lot of remodeling to the old Swanson place, 4 miles west of Winnebago, now known as the Birch House. It took many man-hours for my brother-in-law to remodel this house, plus additional work throughout the 10 acres they leased. Benny kept the place in tip-top condition both in and outside the house. So my next question, I would like to purchase the house for $1, just like Mr. Frank White bought the Winnebago Tribal Farmhouse for $1. Could have been around year 2000. The purchase took place also being that Mr. Frank White was not has not been a lifelong member of the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska. He was an enrolled member of the Omaha tribe of Nebraska. For many years, I have been a member of the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska since birth. All tribal members should be treated equal. Also, this matter comes before the Tribal Council again. I am requesting Jim Snow, Curtis St. Cyr, Ron Warner to please excuse themselves from the Tribal Council table, as they are relatives of mine and should not be involved or have any say so concerning this matter. Secretary Brown, I thank you for your time and the conversation we have had this AM. There are not too many people that would return a telephone call when asked. Again, I say thank you. Lisa Chamberlain, tribal member, Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. Our lives begin to end the moment we become silent about things that matter, by Martin Luther King, Jr.
Excuse me, Sean.
Mr. Chairman,
Hold on, sir.
before you go, Jim, I just want to say that, it's unprecedented that a tribal member or someone from the audience can ask members of this council to leave. We have a oath to serve, and if they left, we'd be without a quorum. We wouldn't be able to act. If it was a conflict, if it was a direct conflict of interest, they can choose whether or not they want to leave or not. They don't have to. They don't have to. So I'm just saying, if they leave, then we're going to lose a quorum and we can't conduct any business. And I also want to say that the tribe, as you know, has big plans for that property for
I seen you out there the
agricultural.
other day. Yeah.
But we have big plans for that, and we want to. It's the best site that we have right now, and we have experts that have come in several times to say that's the ideal spot where we can start our agricultural plan.
But I'm not asking for the land, I'm asking for the house.
Well, the house is part of the plan. We're gonna look for a caretaker, someone who knows how to take care of all that stuff, and maybe let them live in there.
What stuff?
The gardens, the chickens that are gonna be out there. They all go together. Chickens are a part of agriculture, and that we're going to have a written plan that can be presented to the tribal council here with a couple of options on it, And that's gonna be food for the entire tribe. And that's only just the beginning. We have other ideas and thoughts that we're gonna put on paper and bring to the council. We want our tribe to be,
I would like to see that plan.
you definitely can see it when it gets put into, I haven't even seen it. It's being drafted and
Okay,
put on
so
paper.
now, right now, it's just words that are being said.
True,
There is no plan in place, nothing in black and white.
not yet. But in the minds of everybody, that's why we're putting it on paper, is because this is what the tribal council has said that they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be huge. And there's another 30 acres around that 10-acre plot
Yeah,
that can be used for possibly Indian corn, where tribal members can come in and pick the Indian corn, take it home and process it. Or we could do sweet corn or popcorn.
I understand
And this
that.
is just the beginning, Lisa, but that land there was kind of set aside for the better
Yeah,
good.
but Vince, excuse me. Before the Bridge family moved in there, did you guys ever think about that? Did you ever? Not until my brother-in-law built it up to where it is today.
He didn't do
You
anything.
guys didn't even know that house was there.
I had my say, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to be upfront,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
understand
about
Vince.
that. And if we want to be fair, like you said, you've got to be fair to all, then we should, if that's what we wanted to do, then we should advertise it so everybody has an opportunity to get in that house.
That's right.
Yeah.
But nobody was eligible. I was the only one that was eligible according to Irita.
Well, it never was a long-term plan of the tribe to keep somebody in there for housing purposes.
Yeah, and it was pretty busted up.
Well, he was compensated for his work as well. The tribe bought that back.
Yeah, but
Compensated him.
they never released. See, the lease on the land, my sister and brother-in-law canceled that lease. Judy has a copy. I have a copy right here where it was canceled, but they were never paid the balance
Well, I don't know
after
anything
the
about that.
I'm
cancellation.
hearing about that.
Goody?
We paid your sister and her husband exactly what they requested. They came in here and made a request.
For
We-
$30,000.
Yes, we honored that request.
Uh-huh. But she still has money coming to her because of the cancellation of the lease of the 10 acres.
I don't-
So you go anywhere else and you buy something and then you cancel that out, you get the remaining balance back. That is only right.
That's true, but we didn't know about that. We
Well,
don't-
it needs to be taken care of because when I talked to my sister, she said she's still waiting for that payment.
They pay in advance.
I don't know about that part, Lisa. I know we did give them what they requested.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know you did too.
Okay.
But it took a while also.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it did. So,
You know, we'd lose a quorum, you know, but I don't mind sitting in, but, you know, I wouldn't vote on anything. You know, because my relationship with Lisa, my mother and my sister.
So either way, if we're gonna go down that avenue, then who all did you request?
Rollin, Warner, and Curtis, because they are also related to the Saints.
And Jim, right?
Jim is supposed to be my charger, but
There you go.
we have our differences.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I just want to note on the bill of sale that it does have Elizabeth White's name on it
Yeah,
above Frank White, so.
that's right.
I just wanted to
But
note
he-
that.
Yeah, I seen it. I got a copy of it. But I think I still have a right. Because you guys are here for the people. You're not here for yourselves to buy new trucks. To increase your salaries. You're here for the people, and the people are the one that is getting left out. There's people out there suffering. While you guys sit in here around the table and draw big salaries. I know because I worked here for 10 years. And you didn't stay, Roland Warner. When I had my hand up last time, you walked out. And you are related to me. I did the work out when I first started working for BIA. I wanted to know where I come from because my kids were lacking a 16th to be enrolled. And I had to find that. And so Nake Bearskin, who worked in realty, helped me. I have a stack about this big of papers from the BIA stating that your relative, Augustus Sainter, and you can ask Yvonne, you are related to me. Whether you like it or not, we have the same bloodline through Mary Sainter. And you have the audacity to call my brother a white man? You better look in the mirror, guy.
Point of order.
Correct.
I'm not going to sit here and take this abuse from this individual.
We need to
I am
stay on
here
track.
in good faith trying to conduct business for the tribe. I will not sit here and take this verbal abuse.
Because it's true.
Okay, point of order has been recognized. Lisa, want to put some closures to this? Is that all you have to say?
No, I got a lot more to say.
Okay, your request is if you want us excused, there's not going to be a quorum.
Yeah, I know. It's that way every time I come. But I'm just trying to let him know that him
Let's
and
move on.
you have the same bloodline that runs through our veins.
Well, yeah, you
You
know,
know,
just like a lot
Well,
of,
I'm sorry, you know, but you guys are here for the people.
yes, I know, and Vince had a point. You know, if we were to do that, then we should put it out there for everyone, so they have a chance at that, if you're saying for the people.
But why does one individual get to buy their place for $1?
That's before this council, you know, they had discretion at that
But
time,
it still
you know.
is tribal business.
You know, there's a lot of other things that could be brought up, you know, that was probably done, but that's not, we don't, it's not good business to do it like that, you know. And there, like Vince explained to the people, you know, and to the table that there is a plan. And prior you even coming back, there was a plan for this operation
Well,
that
then it
he's
should have
talking
been
about.
in black and white by then.
Well, we don't know what that plan is. It's
Well,
being-
he said there is a plan.
Well, there is. It's being drafted now, presently, but we don't have it physically in our hands yet. But there is a plan. And their plan, the house is a part of that plan,
Mhm.
you know. I mean, he's just being straightforward and being honest.
And, you know, I accept it, what he has said.
Okay.
But I don't know why you guys don't want me out there. Why? Why can't I buy the house? That's all I'm interested is buying the house. Right now I'm leasing the house and the road.
Do you know, what was your sister-in-law's original agreement with the tribe? when they before they first start fixing it up? Cause I imagine they had to come see the tribe first to say, can we move into here?
I don't know exactly, Isaac, I don't know.
Okay, that's just,
But
that's something that I would be curious of looking at, just kinda where it
But-
all started from.
I think the agreement was that they built up the house, they processed the land, in which they did. Benny took damn good care of it. As you notice,
Yeah, I've been out there.
yeah,
And
but
then,
also when they left, because Benny's mom was very sick,
yeah,
so they moved back to Texas. And they wanted me to rent the house. So because of my health conditions, I moved back from North Dakota.
and then I guess the other question I have is, I'm just asking questions, trying to get a little
Yeah,
background
that's
on.
fine.
Do you know if there was any, did Benny and them use any tribal programs to assist them while fixing the house up?
As far as I know, it was pocket money.
Is all pocket money? Okay.
I
And
think, to answer
meaning
your.
pocket money, excuse me.
Okay.
Meaning pocket money, they paid for it out of pocket, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Good, Kenny.
Kenny?
That was a deal with them when they first came. That house was in terrible shape.
It
wasn't
was.
salvageable. And I remember they were involved in our church and they mentioned to us that they appreciated the tribe making that land and that house available for them. Their end of the deal was to bring it up, do all the repairs at no cost to the tribe, which they did do.
Yeah.
I think the only help they got was, and then they had to beg and plead for that, was to get rock put down on their driveway.
Mm.
But for the most part, I'll say for the total part, it all came out of his pocket. Because I watched them simply because they were involved with our church, I was close to them. And I saw where they had continually worked on fixing it up. When they first came, they had to stay at that little shed out there at the powwow grounds. Nothing going for them. So they came a long way when they came back here.
Yeah, I'm just trying, the reason why I'm asking these questions is because I'm thinking of, you move back to the reservation and then you find a house that's in pretty bad shape and you wanna fix it up. And so looking at what the house looked like before, when cows were walking through the house, to what it is now, that's a pretty big commitment to say, I wanna move back here, and then come to the tribe and say, can I move into that? That's on tribal land? And then to put all that money into it, you know, and then to have to up and leave. And that's why I was looking towards what's the history of how did that process take place, who did they visit with at the table, who was here at the time, and those kind of things. Just a little bit of background, you know.
Well, if more people would come back with the idea that they had, we wouldn't have so many abandoned houses around here. You know, if someone would come home and wanna pick up on that house and fix it all up like they did there, I think we'd have maybe 10, 11 less houses that are abandoned.
Yeah, that goes into a branch full of issues. One is that when the tribal members move back, there's a reason why they move back, because they ain't financially fit to be able to keep up with things off the reservation.
Mhm.
Two is goes back to the tribal membership, hiring our own tribal membership. When you do come in here with a degree, then a lot of times you're supposed to get points for being a tribal member. But we have a lot of outside people that are coming in and getting put into these positions, and then the tribe turns around and spends buku bucks on sending that person off for training. They get trained, and 6 months to a year later, then they leave the reservation. Or if we had a tribal member that came back and had that opportunity to do that, then they would be investing in their own hometown and be able to provide for themselves. So that's kind of what I mean by that the branch of issues that goes off into. So
May I say something? Isaac Benny wasn't trained. He had no training. Everything he learned was on his own.
Yeah.
He was taught by an old man down in Texas. And now they're in Texas, and he's building a 3rd home.
Yeah. I got to visit with him a couple of times. I had to call him for a couple of different questions. So maybe put in a call to him and see what the original agreement was, and just to try to get a little bit of background of this. And then I know that you're upset and everything, but I mean, it's you're lucky to be able to come back and to have a place, because we're still.
And see, Irita called me.
Yeah, and I kind of got to watch a little bit of that. I got bits and pieces of it, but I wasn't filled in with all the details of the whole process. That's why I'm kind of asking so many different questions.
No, that's fine.
But at the same time, the things that the tribe wants to try to do with that sound like they're good things. Is what they're, seems like to me, is what they're looking for, is kind of a groundskeeper to tend to that place up there. Because we all know that those that actually took time and put gardens, and you have to work on every day, water them every day, weed them every day, all that kind of stuff. And from what it sounds like, what the plans to that place are, they want to do something big with it. So we're probably going to have to send you off and get trained how to ride a lawnmower, run a age, drive a combine.
I drove a forklift and everything else.
How's your washing skills? Still up to par?
I know how to wash school.
Okay, then. Just wanted to double check on
Yeah.
this. Still got your spoons ready?
Yep, because we used to wash school out there.
Yeah. Okay, I was just checking. That's all I
But
have.
I also have another question. Okay, this is on the chairman. Okay, chairman, well, I'm gonna call him Frank White. Because supposedly, he is related to me through my grandmother's husband, who was Bill White, who was his grandfather. But which son was his, which father he came from his 4 boys, Justin, Melvin, Bobby, and there's one more. I don't know which one was their father. And it seems like every time I come here, he's not here. For what reason, I don't know. I'm just telling the truth,
Yeah.
you know? So, and then when Frank bought that house, was there bids that were sent out too? Asked for? Or was it just on the table? Where's the resolution that goes with that bill of sale?
That's something that happened way before my time. But I think those are some good questions to look at. But at the same time, what I have a hard time, I guess, wrapping my mind around is that house was in bad shape, and then the Benny Bridge property out there, that house was in bad shape. So it's, and now today this one isn't in bad shape, but that one is in bad shape. So buying it for $1, I don't know how that would work out with, you know, with all the money that's
But
been invested.
is there a resolution
Yes, there
to
is.
that effect?
Yes,
I'd
there
like
is.
to see it.
I've seen it, but I don't remember where I saw it. There was a resolution showing that maybe.
Yeah, but should have been attached to the bill of sale,
Well, there
right?
wasn't. Well, I don't know about that. I did see a resolution to that effect. John Blackhawk signed it.
Well, yeah, he signed the bill of sale.
Well, I thought you said there wasn't a bill of sale.
There is a bill of sale.
A resolution for
It's
that.
right here.
For that
Where's
sale.
the resolution?
Okay, I don't know about that. I didn't see the resolution, I don't know where it's at.
So back in 2004, you said, what, was he working for the tribe then?
2004, no, I didn't start until 2005.
Oh, okay.
Also, if I may ask, when you guys are going to come out to the house, out to the property, I wish you would ask or call and let me know that you guys are coming. You know,
I can appreciate that. Yeah, what's your number? How do we get hold of you?
my email,
Email?
yeah, LCHAMBER50@yahoo.com. Yeah, 'cause I seen you guys out there the other day and I didn't know what the heck was going on. I didn't know. I just heard, you know, I seen a Jeep going and then pretty soon I seen your truck going.
Yeah,
You know, that's just what courtesy.
Courtesy. I understand. And we should have, yeah. I didn't see any vehicles there, or I didn't think we were
No,
gonna be.
I was there, my car was there.
I just thought we wouldn't be near the house or anything, which we weren't.
No, I didn't
really.
mind.
Yeah.
You know, anybody can come out.
We will.
As long as they let me know.
Right. I understand, and that's right. We should have let you know. We will in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
Then they said, somebody was mentioning you had a 49 out there to Impala?
I sure did. I sure did.
Did you have fun?
All the Blackfeet, Northern Cheyenne, all up to Montana all came out.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
They said he was charging admission too.
I sure was. I needed to pay my bills.
Okay. Well, she invited us on. That's
Interesting.
You're the 60s. So, yeah. But no, there's been no parties out there, nothing.
Do you still fly around on a broom out there?
I sure do. I have to
I'm
look
just
around
teasing you.
the land. But I mean, that's what it seems like to me. It seems like every time I'm here, he's not here. Because I have questions for him concerning his lease. And just like last time, I used to own his house south, going towards Macy, up on a hill. $80,000 I paid for that house. Me, a single parent, 4 kids, foster kids. I raised them all in that 3-bedroom house. But I kept my lease up. My lease is paid. And my understanding is that the chairman has not paid his lease. So why should I even pay rent when he don't have to?
Lisa, we can't talk about him when he's not here, that's just.
Yeah, that's true, but, I mean, that's the whole thing. He's never here when I'm here. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I ask for your guys' forgiveness for saying things about him. But he needs to be here when I'm here. So where does it stand?
Well, Lisa, these questions have to, be answered by him. We can't answer
Yeah.
for him. That's
But I
your,
have my dollar.
you know. There's other families that are homeless too.
That's right.
There's families that come through our doors with kids.
Yeah, I know, Curtis.
You're fortunate to have a place, but I don't want to go that way, there's a need here, and there's a plan here for that out there. We have to come together and decide on what we're going to do with that versus up for sale. And if it's up for sale, it's got to be a fair process for the whole membership.
But I would like, you know what, Curtis, I would like to see that resolution,
And
and I
the
have every right to see it.
yeah, there's nobody's trying to hide anything, you know.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome. And but the thing is, you know, the tribe is trying to do something for the tribe, a big picture as far as this food, the food sovereignty, you know, and there's a lot of planning that the thinking, you know, and I admire Vince for taking that on, that initiative, you know. And I didn't know, we didn't know that you were going to be coming in and asking for this, you know. It has happened back there, the request initially, but there was some planning and thinking that we want to do for the membership as far as food, Indian corn, vegetables, you know, garden, you know, and the house would be a part of that. You know, the equipment would be out there, you know, all this, you know. And I was talking with Vince, you know, that's all being drafted. You know, we don't have it in hand yet, but there is a plan. Correct, Vince?
Yeah.
So, you know, so we have to meet it, whether we're gonna go forward with that. Is there a plan B? Or, you know, is it, can we put up for sale? We gotta decide that, you know. So just being straight out with you, you know, that's where it's at. Now, as far as you're asking, Jim's removal, Rollins' removal, my removal, as of today, we won't have a quorum, you know, as you understand. And maybe as a full council, you can ask those questions, and we could excuse ourselves, and maybe would be a full quorum. But we need to talk and decide what we're gonna do with that, you know, just to be fair with everyone, and fair with the project, for the vision that, you know, Vince had out there, you know, and the people, you know. So, that's all I can tell you today, you know. And we didn't get anywhere.
I know.
It's probably what you didn't want to hear, but again, we're being honest with you, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what we're facing, you know, in respect to what your request is, you know.
I have another question.
Yes.
Okay, before Betty and Judy moved in there and start renovating the place, taking care of the place, did the tribe then think about all the stuff Vince is saying now?
That, I can't answer that. And I was one to see that property, you know, the way it was growed up. And I used to hunt out that way, so I know how it was.
Yeah, people used to stand
And the
up in
people,
a
can I finish?
up in the attic.
But anyway, it was all growed up out there, you know, and cattle were going in that bottom part. That's true. Benny made that place, did a 360 on it. And it's a nice, livable home, you know, I think.
Yes.
You know, I think he did an excellent job, you know. But as far as this, there's things that is a trend happening nationally with tribes and the food sovereignty. It's a hot item. It's a big item. You know, that's the thinking, having a food market out here, you know, as an outlet for the produce that's produced, you know. And the healthy way of living, you know, the vegetables and all this, you know, it all links together. So it's a good concept, you know, and everybody bought into it, I believe, you know. So it's our community, you know, and other tribes are doing it as well. We're being invited elsewhere to look at their operations, you know. And so we made a commitment, you know, and then your requests come about, so we got to sit down and talk about that, you know, collectively.
As adults.
As councilmen. As a
Because,
council.
yeah, you guys are supposed to be for the people.
That's true, and I think these guys are, you know,
I don't think so.
you know. Okay, anything else you have, Lisa?
No, I guess. I got my answer. You guys don't want me out there.
No, no one said that, Lisa. We got to sit down and talk about this. I said
I
that.
know, but where am I gonna move? You guys have to move me. Winnebago Tribal Housing has to move me. That was Irita's words. We will find you a place when your lease is up.
You probably need to talk with her then. She's
Yep.
gonna find you a place, she said. She's got 8 months. Got 8 months to look around.
But we might extend the lease. We could do that.
Just depends on what's happening with the plan, how soon that plan gets implemented. If it's not gonna be implemented in the spring, that's probably a consideration. But if we're gonna implement that plan in the spring, then that house will have to go along with part of that plan. So when does your lease expire? In the spring sometime?
February or March? Yeah, 'cause I moved back during winter.
Well, we need to talk to Irita then. I'll talk with her too, but you also need to talk with her. If she told you that, then she has to,
Yes.
okay, then she will find you a place. But, we'll have a word with her on that too. No, nobody's gonna be kicking anybody out in the middle of the winter. It's not gonna happen.
Well, since there's no decision that's been made again, I guess it's gonna continue.
Well, we'll make a decision when we get the plan. We can't decide on something we don't
I
haven't
would like to
seen.
see the plan, I would like to see the resolution on the tribal farm. I would like to see his lease paid up in full. So why does these other people have to pay? I'm speaking for the people,
Lisa.
because I've worked here 10 years, Vince.
I understand that, Lisa. But we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
One is
Good
the
order.
farm out here, and you're talking about another issue. And I'm thinking that if it's that important to you, that you put it on the agenda and you come talk specifically about the issue that you're talking about now. And then we can get to the bottom of that. Because other people
I
have,
respect your word because you're a mother.
other people have the same concerns you do and the same questions you do too. So maybe if you want to do that, I mean, that's what I would do. I'm not saying do it, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
you have the right to do that, to bring it to the council if that's an issue. And just to focus on that one issue.
Okay. Well, nothing accomplished. I just hope you guys all enjoy your new trucks, and I hope, Rollin, you can reach your pedals.
Working on it. Thank you.
Probably have to put blocks on it.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Platform.
New business enrollment. Well, I'm gonna back up here. Coley, would you note no action on this subject for right now, you know? New business enrollment committee training request. This is a request and is titled by William Decora, the Enrollment Committee. That requests Enrollment Committee members attending training August 28th through the 29th, 2018 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and November 13th through the 15th, 2018 in Palm Springs, California. That is their request. There is a letter, and it's kind of a lengthy letter, but and they have some figures here. They talked about that, sending all of them versus having the gentleman that provides us training, bring them up here, and there would be more that can be trained. So that's the breakdown here. It'd be the request for people is what, $14,675. one request is $7,506. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members. One is their annual conference, the Enrollment, and the other one is has to do with auditing. And it's all right here in your packet, audit and reconstruction workshop.
Does the enrollment committee have a budget or anything?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Jim?
You know, the cost of this for those enrollment committee members, although that training would be good if they had it in their budget, the directors, they don't have that funds in their budget, but my suggestion would be when we have the coalition meeting, that we bring this to the table in there and say, what if we got James Mills and DCI to come up here and provide training, you know, for all of the tribe, then we could get more bang for our buck.
Makes
I'm
sense.
sure he would be willing to, you know, he'd be agreeable, because we had a workshop on Robert's Rules of Order. And that was through DCI, but they also do enrollment too, and constitutional revision.
Mr. Chair, was you done?
Yep.
Mr. Chair, I support that idea. I think that's a better way to go.
Okay. Any other input?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think the most important thing is the budget. When you plan for these things, when the time for allocations and stuff, you know if you're gonna go to training, or if you need training, or if you're gonna go to NCAI or whatever, that you put that in your budget, so the tribe doesn't have surprises like this. You're talking over $22,000 for training that, what kind of training? I didn't see anything. Of course, I don't have that second page either in my packet. But, I mean, specifically what kind of training and why do they need it? And what's gonna, you know, what are they gonna get out of it that they need right now? You know, if I can see if there's a dire need for something unexpectedly, they don't have it in their budget, they didn't plan for it, but they all wanna go to all of them. Sometimes you only send one or two, and then they bring the information back and share it with others. I don't disagree with Jim's idea about getting with other tribes and bringing James Mills up here to provide that training. That would probably be more cost effective, and you can get more people involved if it's necessary. If it's, I really don't, I don't have enough information to make a decision. But I was wondering about the purpose. Do they have it in the budget? What's the total cost? How many are going? And I was just thinking, if they're gonna go, maybe send one or two to gather the information, bring it back and write a good report and share it with the others and kind of train the others, I guess. But I think, for me, the bottom line is you include this stuff in your budget at the beginning of the year. Although I'm not opposed, I think training's a good thing for anybody. But it's just that it's a surprise. And we all allow them to do this, then all the other departments can say, hey, they let them do it, you know. Come on, let's look up a training that we can go to, and then let's all head out to Las Vegas or something, you know. So those are my comments pretty much. I'm not opposed to this. I like Jim's idea if we're gonna do this. So that's about all I have to say right now. Let others jump in on the
Is there
conversation.
any other input on this?
The only thing I have is that I think that the training for the committee, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, each one of the committee members on here are enrolled tribal members, but that's not the issue. The issue is, when are we gonna settle this blood quantum and start getting our kids enrolled, because we got a lot of them falling through the cracks. And then we take these kind of things, which this training might be one of the things that has to happen, or is going to happen, or maybe doesn't happen, but it might help with that. But I think that's the stuff that we need to talk about, is getting that done. And I believe that each one of us probably got approached throughout the time here about the same question, is when are you guys gonna settle that? So now a lot of people are asking, well, how do I get my kids enrolled? How do I get them adopted into the tribe? How do I put them on the ballot? Those kind of things. So I think that this is just one little part of it, and I'm for sending them off to training, or either trying to split that cost with the coalition. But the other thing is just trying to get the main thing taken care of, and that's opening that back up, whatever we agree upon. But I think we need to keep that in front of us and try to settle that, because that's doing more damage right now. We have kids that are being lost in foster care because they're not eligible to be enrolled, and that leads into a bunch of other things. But that's some of the stuff that I would like to try to get taken care of. It affects a lot of families too.
I guess I agree with all three comments that BCI could come here and make that presentation for a hell of a lot less and involve more people in it. I can see that. I can see Vincent's point too, where programs need to have that in their budget if they're gonna do it. You can have every program coming here wanting us to flip a bill for them to go to training when they should have that in their budget. I agree with that. Third thing, I think, we ain't done a damn thing about this moratorium. There's people out there that want their children enrolled, and we keep just tabling it. It's never going to get resolved. And if the training would cause that to be taken care of, I'd be for it 100%. But I don't see it getting resolved until we as a table do something about it. If I've said it once, I've said it a dozen times. We're afraid of our own shadow. We don't want to do nothing about that blood quantum, because we're going to either upset someone, or people are going to think, well, we're just doing it for our relatives. It just has a lot of connotations that don't match what we really want to get done. And like you said, people are waiting for that moratorium to be resolved. I don't know, Ike, if this would do it. Isaac, if this would do it. But I hear all three issues. And I guess the one I would go with the most is having that BCI come and present it to not only the enrollment committee, but people in the community that want to be involved in it.
Vince? I totally agree with that, and Isaac, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the other part here, probably, like you say, the most important part. James Mills can come and give training, but it might not be specific to what we need. Why not focus this on resolving that issue right there? Tell him why we want him to come here, and we have to get this resolved, and let's focus on that. Let's focus on just, that's the main purpose. And if there's any other questions or anything else, enrollment committee or whatever, maybe they're looking for a specific type of training, I'm not sure. But I think the most important thing is bringing them here, getting the community involved, the committee, and also this council here, all together. Let's get this resolved. And he's probably the only guy, maybe not the only guy, but he's one of the best guys that can help us to get over this. Because I agree, we've got to do this. It's been too long. And we are losing some of our relatives to here and there, We got to get this taken care of. And it'll continue to be like this until we take that step. And I think that might be the step that we have to do. So I think that's the most important thing right there, is getting that moratorium lifted and get something. The only thing about it, you can't give the people a bunch of choices in there. That's what troubles me. You can only put one thing in there, and then it's either yay or nay. So that's the part that troubles me, and we shouldn't be limited to that, but we are. So, but maybe he can help us resolve that. I'd be all for that, because we got to get that resolved.
I would concur with their request. Yeah, I think it's imperative that, and speaking with some of them, and I wish they were here, the committee, and I want to open that can. I'll let them talk about that, the specifics as we're talking about here. But we don't put blinders on our committees or them. They want to broaden their knowledge. What are the options, because each tribe is facing, these things as far as enrollment. And that's what they want to do, is broaden their knowledge for what's best of these situations we're talking about here. So yeah, I would agree and concur with, that's one option. I mean, with the Nebraska Intertribal Coalition versus just doing it outright and bringing them here and talk about our issues, what we're dealing with here, and to train even more so we all have to understand that this is the way to go, or this is an option, those kind of things. So, but I wish they were here, to explain it a little more. But in my talking with them, that's what they were asking, and it was mentioned there was nothing in the budget. Phyllis over there, the board member said there was no budget, at all. So, yeah, that's true, as far as the appropriations.
I just have one other comment. I guess too, one of the things, just thinking like a common man, we would be paying somebody to come in here and train our people to help us make a decision for ourselves. If you kind of think about that, that kind of sounds crazy, but on the other side, it's to help our people. But then we talk about budgets, we talk about numbers, we talk about all these different things, when really common sense, it just kind of boils back down to the table of what the membership wants the table to do to make the decision. Now, you're not going to be able to please everybody, but we're going to pay somebody for that, versus the enrollment numbers. To me, the way I look at it is like a dog tag from the government saying, this is how much Ho-Chunk you are, this is how much Winnebago you are, this is how much, and so if you look at it, that's exactly what the government wants us to do, is basically kind of get rid of ourselves through that process. And one of the options that were brought up or talked about was descendancy. So if you went that route, then your bloodline and everything. And then if you look at how our community is today, we have young parents having hard times in their lives, but at the same time, you better know where you come from, you better know your bloodline. So it almost, I don't know if it would, in a way, start encouraging more people to actually follow up on their history, follow up on their bloodline, their clanship, all of these kind of things, these responsibilities that the tribe's lacking in different areas now. So I was just thinking of it that way as we're sitting here, of here's a perfect tool. This is a live streaming meeting, and I don't know how big of an audience we capture, but to actually set a time, a date, and call membership in here, do an open forum. You're gonna have the people that come in here and they're really pissed off about things, but that's something that once they let that off their chest, they feel a little bit better. And so if we're able to do that and then make a decision, I think once you get enough people rounded up, then saying, where do you want the blood quantum at? How do you want your enrollment set up? Because it can always be changed too, but this isn't nothing to be fooling around with too much. But right now, doing something is better than doing nothing, so I just share that with the table and wanted to kind of put that out there, because there's maybe 5 or 6 other issues that just keep kind of rolling over, and coming up on the same issues again. Sometimes the table will put a Band-Aid on it, quick fix, and then it comes back up. Then we sit here and get frustrated when that resurfaces because we put a little cheapskate solution on, so, but those kind of things I think about, so. But that's all I got. It's almost time to eat.
We were almost there when we did that resolution to go that route. And lo and behold, we all kind of went away with this table, away from this table, figuring that resolution will fix this moratorium deal. lo and behold, there was a whole bunch of add-ons to it. You'd be 21 years before it goes into effect, or you gotta live within 80 miles of a reservation. It just went into all kinds of details, but just completely broke that resolution down, and we were back to square one again. The older people are probably the ones that wanna keep it the same, so that we don't have to share. We don't have much of anyway. We don't have to share with what we have with a whole new blown up census. We can't make benefits per caps and that kind of stuff available anymore because our enrollment has swelled so much. And a lot of them aren't Winnebago people. We all know that. If we would have just changed at that time to 3/16 or 1/8 Winnebago, you would have built that tribal membership up with Winnebago blood. The way it is now, it's built up with lots of different tribes. And that's, pretty soon you'll have so many different tribes involved in our enrollment that they won't do the word Winnebago.
So, getting back to this, good discussion, good discussion. But what do we want to do with this request, the enrollment committee?
When's our next intertribal meeting?
That, I don't
29th.
know. Is it 29th?
29th.
Same travel that day, or Lincoln too.
Oh, it is too.
Is this an issue for all the other tribes, or is it an issue for us?
Well, in an effort to defray costs, we thought we could do that, but maybe we just need to do it for our
Whatever
tribe.
the cost.
We can
is,
still
it's
find
worth
out the
it to
cost.
us.
We could
Rather-
contact DCI and he can give us a cost.
Rather than send 5 away, now, why not have him come here and he can educate the whole res, anybody who wants to attend? That might be, we might be better off for it,
But we can also contact chairman, by emails from the Omahas and Santees and see if they'd be interested.
for a price.
Have it up at the
Yeah,
cost.
I mean,
a little
for-
charge.
Yeah,
Have it up at the cost.
for a shared cost.
Sure, at least offer it. That might help, yeah. But we should, I think we need to be specific about our constitutional amendment. So we either need to set a little bit of time aside, like a couple hours in the afternoon or something, out of maybe a 2-day seminar or something specific to ours. Just have them focus on that and help us out. We could just, for now, for a Band-Aid, for a temporary fix, just say, okay, let's make it back how it was, 1/4, and then vote on it, and then letting people know that this is only just temporary. It's better than a moratorium sitting out there, but at least temporarily, we can either put it back to, would you rather put it back to 1/4 until we can get this all figured out, or 3/16, just temporarily until we can get this all, because we've asked for meetings and stuff and not too many people show up. That's kind of been part of the problem the enrollment committee's been experiencing, is not many people even show up. They're not concerned or anything. So that's a part of the problem right there too. But I mean, that's just another option. We could say, okay, this is going to be our constitutional amendment that everybody's going to vote on. You can only vote on one thing, so let's make it back to 1/4 and then once it goes back, we'll have more time to, just like now. But at least we got something in place for enrollment, whereas right now it's a moratorium. So I'm just thinking, just for temporarily. That's just a thought
But
option.
Vincent, once you go back to that 1/4, you're lifting that moratorium, and that's when they're gonna all come flooding in again, because that moratorium is what's holding people back right now.
But then now you gotta only have 1/4 blood, and you can't have no mixed blood. That's what I'm saying. Throw that out there for now, or something like it.
Okay, all right.
And don't use other blood, just quarters, make it simple. Because the way it's offered to the people in amendment language, it seems really difficult to understand, at least it does for me, because there's too many little things in there that throw you off. I think we need to make it simple, but that's my thought, just to get by temporarily, again, a temporary fix, but maybe it'll stay like that.
Maybe when that guy gives us the training, he can tell us what to do in our project.
Well, like Isaac said, but it's hard to get that message from the people to tell us what they want. And you're gonna hear everything under the sun like we already had, So what do? Take a poll of the people right there? I don't know.
So what I'm gathering is the training request is being denied, but it'll be followed up as far as asking if it's Mr. Mills to come up here and to provide a training for us, which
Yeah,
is
maybe.
it was a cost-effective
Right, dude.
approach here.
Exactly, yeah. I think,
But it's up to you, council, how you want to do that.
I'd be in favor of bringing them up here, but it's my one.
You gonna make a motion?
Okay.
I make a motion to table it, and it could be revisited if you deny it.
I'm in favor of bringing them up here so that we can have that done.
That company that they mentioned, Ron, the company that they mentioned,
Well, the one here,
If they're willing to come up and do it.
DCI.
If we can do it at a lower cost, I think it'd be a lot cheaper to have them come over here and then do that, what they're specifically asking for, and then along with that, with what Jim had to say, with the Ponkas, the Omahas, the Santees, our coalition, and see if they want to take part in that, because they're probably experiencing the same thing, and then have them cut that cost so that we could divvy that up and then move forward. That's what I think.
yeah, because there's a part of halfway agenda, what they're presenting at that, one in Albuquerque.
It'd cut that cost way down, because the way that it's set now, it's pretty expensive for just 5 people.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
that was a good idea, Roland, to know what these tribes are doing here locally. But it'd be good too with the Great Plains Tribal Chairmen's Association to ask them what we're all experiencing. I mean, we're off the subject again. I'm gonna get off the subject, but in 50 years, how many tribes are gonna be down to a 16th? You have to, because we can't stop life. Our kids' kids from having kids. 50 years, we could be down to a 16th, a 64th. How low can you go? But it's something we have to address sooner or later. And it's going to change more and more as the decades go.
There's a couple of requests in here. One is for the annual conference. That's the annual one. I think a couple wanted maybe to go there, and a couple going to the other one. That has to do with the auditing, and apparently auditing, you know what that means. But as it applies to ICWA, these kind of things, and that's what this committee wants to broaden their knowledge as it applies to ICWA and the codes.
I think it's a good thing, and money well spent if we did train these people, and what you're talking about. It's a real issue. And if we got our committee people that are on that trained, and they have a full and clear understanding of how to proceed and how that's supposed to go, I mean, it's to our benefit.
We could potentially have like a 2-day seminar, one specific for our needs, and then one open for ICWA purposes, and then invite the other tribes, because they have the same issues we do regarding the state of Iowa, Nebraska, and other states too regarding ICWA issues. So maybe dedicate 1 day to the ICWA issue if that's what they specifically are requesting, because I don't have that sheet. And so we can address that and then address our issue on the following day. I mean, that's just a thought too, And do we gotta get 3 bids
Mr. Chairman,
if we know who we
I'd
wanna
like
go?
to throw a motion out there, see where it goes, that we ask the tribal chairman to request a bid from DCI to provide a 1 or 2 day training on enrollment.
Is it,
Okay.
it's these people that we were trying to send them to?
Yeah.
Oh,
DCI.
yeah, okay, I'll second that.
That's James Mills, isn't it? DCI? Isn't that James Mills?
Yeah,
That these people here?
and both workshops says that we're creating stronger nation, CSNI, and then powered by DCI America.
Okay, all right.
And then also on that annual workshop, those are presented by James Mills too. Presented by LabCorp, and then on the one, roundtable discussion on your constitution for membership, presented by James Mills. And then private consultations, presented by James Mills. So, kind of what,
I'll second that motion.
Okay, there's been motion moved by Kenny, second by Roland, directing the chairman to seek a bid from DCI. DCI, what they call them, America, as it pertains to travel enrollment. Kenny, you want to rephrase that so Coley gets that? Is that good enough? Or Kenny, your motion?
Yeah, I move it.
You want to repeat your motion though?
Oh, I'd like to have the chairman, request that the chairman get a hold of DCI and see if they can present a 2-day workshop regarding enrollment, tribal enrollment.
Okay. I don't want to leave anything out.
Is that for the exact purpose that they were trying to go to in the first place?
I
would assume.
wrote down ICWA issues and tribal moratorium. That's
Hold
what
on here, because
we can cover.
Because that's what we were talking about.
we were talking
That'd be part
about,
of it,
this issue is to send these guys so that they can get the training for auditing, and the other one was for travel to a annual event that they always have in Palm Springs. Now, the issue that we were discussing was so that they would get the training for the auditing. Now, that's what I thought we were talking about. I don't think we were talking about anything else other than having that guy come here so that he can train them in the auditing and then split that cost with those other tribes. I want to be clear on that. That's what I thought I was seconding. Am I seconding that motion for that, for them guys to come do that training specifically, or are we trying to put something else in there? Because I want to be clear on that.
Well, we're in discussion
this
right
part-
now, you know,
Second?
but
I might withdraw that second if
Well-
that's not what we're doing.
well, the point of order is, you know, they're requesting to go down there. We need to address that first.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, then I'll withdraw my motion. If you want to withdraw your second. Because I was going to ask that same thing. We still haven't answered the enrollment training request.
Right.
We got enough time.
I think maybe we're putting a cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Let's deal with yes or no
Right.
on this, then decide if we're going to go with enrollment training for everybody
Yeah.
interested.
So you withdrew.
Correct. I
So-
withdraw my second.
I'll make a motion to deny the training request from the enrollment committee.
Okay, it's been moved by Kenny
Due to financial limits.
to deny the request from the enrollment committee. because of financial
Constraint?
limits at this time. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Second by Vince.
Now you made it rain.
E.
Oh, NC Spring now.
Is there any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 6-0-0.
Good you clarified that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, now I'd like to make a motion that Chairman request a bid from DCI for enrollment training to be conducted on the Winnebago Reservation.
Okay, it's been moved by Kenny. Is there a second?
Awesome.
Second by Vince. The chairman get bid from DCI America regarding enrollment training, yeah.
So we don't have to get specific on that, we just, it'll cover
Broad,
all
yeah,
the,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
our concerns are. And I think,
Specific when he gets here.
yeah, we'll need to let him know so he can get prepared.
Well, discussion.
Okay, discussion.
I just want to be clear that this whole thing was brought up because this committee wanted to get the training for this auditing. And then they also wanted to attend the national convention that they have annually. So we denied that they're definitely not going to be going because of constraints in funding to this annual event, nor will they be getting the training that they requested as far as this auditing. We're clear on that. And so now Kenny made the motion to have the chair get 3 bids.
No, I didn't say 3 bids,
Oh,
just submit a bid.
to submit a bid. Excuse me, thank you for correction. To have this, is this a firm? Come in and do enrollment training, which could be, that's kind of obligatory. That could mean a lot of things. So let's be specific on what kind of training that we're going to be doing.
Enrollment training.
What is that?
Well, let's address the 2 issues they requested in here, auditing and ICWA.
Okay.
And then we have an issue with the moratorium. So to me, those are the 3 things that we were talking about around this table for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes.
I just want to be clear that so that if we're going to have somebody come down here, I want to be clear on that, what we're paying them for, if they accept. So, is it going to be ICWA and auditing, the training?
Well, that's what they're requesting.
Okay.
That's what the enrollment committee is
Okay.
requesting.
So, is this motion going to specifically say what we just discussed?
Well, maybe we need to amend it to, or add it on to be more specific.
I would like that clarity, please.
What do you think, Ken?
I'm not gonna change my motion. I think that stuff can be addressed when that gentleman gets here. How far into auditing and what the other item was.
We may lose votes if,
Pardon?
you may lose votes if you
Well-
don't clarify.
Then that's okay too.
I'd like to see clarification in there, just, it's only a few words.
Mr. Chairman.
You can amend it. Yes,
Mr.
Jim.
Chairman, if you look at William's letter And then, the 2-day training will help efforts in becoming more effective, valuable as committee members and/or review teams for the departments, such as becoming an enrollment auditor, ethics, security, enrollment, and all that stuff. And then when you go back to the one in the presentation that's giving in Albuquerque on the 28th and 29th of this month, it says introduction to becoming an enrollment auditor or reconstruction team member, ethics code of conduct, confidentiality, understanding of ordinances and criteria, working with the council, enrollment committee, enrollment staff membership. Understanding the scope of the audit or reconstruction, the roles of the audit reconstruction team. So, more or less, take what he's got in here and then blend it in here. And then on the issues that we have with the constitutional and the moratorium, then we can request that at a private consultation with James Mills. And then we'll cover, like Vince said, the language in the way it sits now on that moratorium. Let's get it settled where it's put on a ballot and have the tribal members decide this is the way it reads now, and we change it to this. Go back to a quarter, or one of the things that wasn't in place is that age discrepancy. And it should have said all children born after this date, then we will accept other Indian blood. And that's one the main reasons that it was brought forth was because those ones weren't just a little bit off of being enrolled, and they were lost in the ICWA system because they weren't enrolled. Part Omaha, part Winnebago, part Santee.
I'd like to call him and ask him if his enrollment training includes those two fields, auditing and what was the other one?
ICWA. He'll do whatever you want.
Yeah,
He can-
that's, I just wanna be, cause we're gonna be buying that if we do it. I just wanna be real clear so that when we do it, it's clear. That's all, you guys. I'm not asking for the moon. That's all, just clarity. I mean no disrespect.
It states, there's 12 items here that you could cover on his audit and reconstruction workshop. That's what Jim started out saying.
What's that, BCI?
Yeah. So the audit reconstruction workshop covers all these.
Why couldn't we send him that paperwork there and see if he can't model something?
Yeah,
you
I'll be
know,
good with that.
to address what they're requesting, what the committee is requesting. Just send them that information, what they were gonna go to, and see if he wouldn't be, he's doing them anyway, isn't he? Out there? I mean, DCI is well known, they've been around for a long time, everybody knows James Mills for a long time ago. So, he will customize whatever you want for presentation.
Yeah. So did you guys make your mind up yet? Now we're trying to figure out what to call the Band-Aid or what?
To get that Coley, what Kenny, Jim, Ron, and Ben said.
Got my tape recorder
What
going.
kind of Band-Aid you said he used?
Yeah, what to call the Band-Aid here.
The second hand.
We're gonna pay to help
I
make
did.
a decision.
Kenny moved it, Vince seconded it.
We were in discussion, that was all.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion?
No.
Well, if we vote on this motion the way it is, can I ask, is it our understanding that we address those? That's what we're talking about, Kenny, right?
Yeah.
We're addressing the enrollment committee issues
I didn't see this. all
and
of
our
that.
disenrollment. It's not in my packet either.
It wasn't in mine either. Sure that,
That's right,
yeah, it includes all of that.
I wanna do what they,
Okay.
you know, myself. And I understand, I mean, I know that we have another issue with the enrollment moratorium. So that's my interest. And if we're gonna bring them up here for, help these guys do that, then like Isaac said, I think we need to address that moratorium sooner than later.
Kenny, so your motion would say travel enrollment audit and reconstruction workshop? with the content being those 12
Okay.
things.
Okay.
I'm good with that, thank
I'm
you.
fine.
Yes.
What was it again?
Tribal enrollment, audit and reconstruction workshop.
It would cover all those 12 things in there.
That's
right?
fine with me, yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay with you, Vince?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Council?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus,
Okay, it's been moved by Kenny, second by Vince, having the travel enrollment, what's the specific words? Audit and reconstruction workshop for
Correct.
Winnebago Tribe.
you can put that in. You want that in that motion? Tribal consultation?
Is that a second motion or what?
No, I mean,
No.
it would just be included when they,
Enrollment
when
and-
Frank
and
calls.
What did it say? Enrollment and what? Have Frank call DCI and ask him if he'll conduct an enrollment?
Audit and reconstruction workshop.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And then you better put in there that tribal consultation, where he meets with the council on it. Or do you think is that necessary?
Why not, if we're
Yeah, along with consultation.
moratorium discussion or something
Yeah.
like that?
There you go.
You know, I go out to the casino and gamble, or play bingo, let's put it that way. And I have a lot of people come and ask me, when are you guys gonna lift the moratorium? And you know what? Most of them aren't Winnebago people that ask me that.
Huh. Why would they ask?
Because they can't get enrolled, that's why they're not Winnebago.
Their grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
Their grandkids can't get
They're
enrolled, that's why.
Yeah, they're Indians, but
Okay,
they're not necessarily.
it's been
Winnebago.
moved by Kenny, second by Vince. The motion is, have that tribal chairman get a hold of DCI America, getting a bid, or as tribal,
Enrollment and reconstruction.
travel enrollment, audit and reconstruction
Workshop.
workshop.
Moratorium discussion, or issue. Right?
Yeah. And moratorium lifted issue. Jim, that suffice?
And moratorium what?
You mentioned consultation, Jim. You
Issue.
good with that?
Moratorium issue.
Issue. Okay.
Okay. Apparently he is. Okay. Okay, call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay. Unanimous, 6-0-0.
Good on.
Okay, tribal council items, number 1, 75th Annual Convention and Marketplace, Denver, Colorado, October 21st through the 26th, 2018.
What is that? NCAI? or-
NCAI, annual conference.
You all gonna go?
When is it?
October 21st through the 26th.
Oh, yeah, I'll go. I won't be on council, but I'll go.
We, who's the delegate?
Did we ever do that?
Yeah, there's a delegate and then Ann Downs is the alternate.
Frank,
Is it
Oh,
Frank?
oh.
Yeah,
chairman of the delegate, and then one was that alternate.
that's what I remember. I don't know. Okay, Councilman, what do you want to do?
Who's asking? Somebody asking for travel to that? or-
They could probably make for, you know, for TC members that want to attend.
Second.
Is that
Yeah.
your motion? Is that your motion?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, motion by Jim, second by Kenny. Authorizing travel for TC members to attend the 75th Annual Convention and Marketplace in Denver, Colorado, October 21st to the 26th, 2018. Are there any objections? If not, motion carries 600. Okay, number 2. It says Nation Congress of American Indians. 2018 to 2019 membership dues.
Is that a typo?
I'm sure it is. It's national, should be National Congress of American Indians.
I'll move it.
How much? You got a blue package, $100, and a red package, $150.
What was we doing before?
Let's see, what are, we're,
You
we
just-
got
You could just go as,
our dues here.
as an attendee,
As
as
an,
a tribal, you know, you still get the vote in there. But when you do, this is based upon our, what you call it,
Oh, yeah.
tribe, and it would be probably, what is it, Kenny, 20,000 or something like that?
30,000.
I removed that.
let us discuss this further.
So what is this issue? Dues? We
That one,
pay the
yeah,
dues?
that's to respectfully, I make a motion to respectfully decline right now.
Yeah.
We don't really get anything out of NCAI, mostly it's all down southwest in Oklahoma. That's why the treaty tribe, they pulled back and they made their own organization called COLT, Coalition of Large Land-Based Tribes.
Good point, Jim.
We're not a part of this anyway, are we? Or are we?
Well, we paid dues last year.
Did we pay that amount?
It was only like
I
$1,000
remember us
because to
doing
get a
something
vote.
when that Ben White,
Hmm?
It was only like $1,000
Senator
to
from
get a vote or
Ben
something.
Nighthorse?
Ben
Council.
Horst Campbell?
Yeah.
In order to vote, yeah, you gotta pay your dues.
Well, yeah. it
Oh,
wasn't-
we paid our dues last year because we were trying to get, what's his name on there? Rosebud, chairman. I think that's what.
Fraser.
Fraser, yeah, we
Yeah,
tried to get
Fraser,
Fraser
yeah.
on there last year, but we didn't. So I think that's why we actually paid the dues, was so we
Yeah.
could go and vote.
Ah,
But
Okay.
I think prior to that, I don't think we were members.
okay.
A long time ago we were, but.
I withdraw my motion. Unless you guys think it's a better idea.
What do you want to do, Councilman?
No action.
No action.
No action?
Constraints.
Okay, no action. So physical restraint, constraints. Number 3, Morrison Exxon dinner, August 17th, 2018, Omaha, Nebraska. Frank did say that Jane Clibb, she has some tickets for who wants to go to that dinner.
Who has tickets?
Jane Clibb, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
So what, approved travel for any council member that wants to go?
Yeah.
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Vincent, second by Jim, for authorizing travel for tribal council to attend the Morrison Exxon dinner, August 17th, 2018 in Omaha, Nebraska. Are there any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 600. Number 4, travel requests, Haley Hammett Tour, Lincoln on August 29th, 2018.
Okay, that's, just a little we've been invited, these Nebraskans for Peace guys, Tim Ryan and Ron Meyer, and this Reginald, Nebraskans for Peace. They came up here about at least 3, maybe 4 times to visit us, visited the 10 acres out there, and they invited us down to see what they have. Where Tim Ryan lives is kind of like a, I don't know, it's cul-de-sac or something, and all the people, like 6, 8 people in his neighborhood, they don't have lawns, they have gardens. They don't have any grass, just gardens. And 12 blocks from downtown, from the state capitol. So they're creative and stuff. Anyway, they asked us if we would come down to visit their place, because their little neighborhood, he calls it a hamlet. All his neighbors and stuff, they're all kind of doing the same things, helping each other, sharing tips and stuff like that with gardening and stuff like that. He said, you guys should come down and see us. So that's what it is. Just day trip. We want to leave at 8 o'clock, get down there by 10, leave by 2, get back by 4. So it'll just be just a 1-day, 8-hour trip. So I think what little bit we might learn and gain from them is going to help us, because we're in this, we're learning as we go, and every little bit helps. You put it all together, and whatever we learn, we can be able to share with our tribal members or anybody who's interested in doing any kind of gardening or farming or something like that. I just think that, you know, this is pretty important. I mean, I don't think you guys can say no. I'm just letting you know how important this food sovereignty thing is, because it is really going to be huge. It's going to be, gosh, we have all this land and stuff, you know, and we can't even feed ourselves. We don't even know our indigenous foods down bottom or wherever else on the res that our relatives used to eat. So it's all encompassing. Next year we're going to have some more of those raised garden beds and help people do it. It was late this year, but next year everybody's going to be on top of things, I think, there. And try to get something going out here and there by the, you know, so the different spots that we have right now, you know, there's 40 acres out there. It's not just 10 acres. We could plant Indian corn all the way around there, you know, around that 10 acres, and have tribal members come in and, you know, regulate it, of course, give everybody so much, and then you take it home and you process it yourselves, and everybody will learn, and then they'll have Indian corn. Everybody have Indian corn. That's just a thought, just an idea. Those are some of the things we can do. We can do so many other things. But this is just the beginning. We're all learning here, so in that effort to kind of learn best practices and stuff like that, we want to take our committee down. Any council members that may want to go down and visit them for a day and for a few hours and see what they got. So basically, that's what we're asking for, is just that we're allowed to travel. I think, Curtis, you're going to go down with this?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay, and our little committee. There's going to be 6 right now. If anybody else wants to go, that's the same day as our intertribal thing going. I think we had this planned before that,
Yeah.
because they changed it or something. So I think we're kind of committed to that down there. So that's the request, is just probably mileage. I think it is maybe a per diem.
Mhm.
Other than that, they're gonna serve lunch down there, so we probably don't need lunch. We're gonna eat fresh vegetables.
I'll move it.
Dandelion
Approve travel
leaves.
for TC interested in attending the
Holly Hamlet.
Holly Hamlet.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Jim, second by Roland, authorizing travel for TC members to attend the Holly Hammett Tour in Lincoln, Nebraska on August 29th, 2018. Are there any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 6-0-0.
Thank you, Councilman.
The next is number 5, travel request. In September, the STAC meeting in Alaska, September 22nd to the 27th, 2018. I don't know what
I
that
think
is.
Doris is appointed as a representative. It's everything covered by the organization, but just to approve travel, so I'll make that motion to approve travel to
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Jim, second by Roland, authorizing travel for Tori Kitcheon, Councilman Tori Kitcheon, to attend meeting in September, the stack meeting in Alaska, September 22nd through the 27th, 2018. Is there any objections to the motion? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Number 6, travel request on Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Health Board. Training and meeting in Bismarck, North Dakota, September 4th to the 7th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. And that's for the chairman, right? I assume. Is that Tory? He told me Tory is the proxy.
Or rep.
All right, I think you can, on that tribal chairman health board meeting, they'll cover the cost for the chairman or the proxy.
Yeah, it'd be authorizing
Just authorize anybody else who want to go.
Tory, you know, that he's, because he said that she's the proxy this morning. They advised me, so.
It says tribal leaders / presidents or proxies.
Okay, it's been moved by,
Straight one?
I don't know, he didn't say yet.
I just,
Foley,
Yeah,
Huh?
I motion.
for Tory and the chairman,
TC?
or just the proxy? That's Tory.
TC? Just put
TC.
TC? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved by Coley, second by Vince, authorizing travel for tribal council, the Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Health Board meeting, training and meeting in Bismarck, North Dakota, September 4th to the 7th, 2018. Is there any objections? Any objections? If not, motion carries 6-0-0. Okay, last on the agenda is Lorna snake issue. Lorna? Thank you for being patient, Lorna.
I don't know how these, all your rules here and stuff work, but I think that this might be, just no matter.
It's a delicate situation that should
Yeah.
probably not be videoed or televised or anything like
Are you
that.
requesting an executive session, Lorna? Okay.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
What was the motion?
You can go into executive.
Vince, moved by Vince, second by Roland, going to exec. Any objections? If not, motion carried 6-0-0. Is the door closed over there?
Okay, 1 second, Chairman. I have to call and disable the stream, so it's being confused.
258, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Okay.
Video.
you turn the mics on.
Yeah. Okay. Can you inform the viewers that we're going to stop the streaming, and then is there anything else left on the meeting?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, just kind of make mention that we're going to executive session, stop streaming, and then.
Okay, I've been advised by our sound tech who manages the live streaming. This announcement is for you folks. This will be cut off now. And the last subject we have is executive session for a tribal member. After that, there's no other items that's pending or on the list, so that will be it. And it's been moved and seconded, and we're in executive session at 2:58. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Okay, Garen?